Hello everyone, welcome to day 205 of playing chess every day for you. Let's find a game. E4, so I'll play C6 and D5. F4 is a move that is definitely good. It takes space. Lets the knight develop. I haven't seen this actually before, but still think D5 is good here. They choose to push. I can push also. Although that would stop my bishop from being able to develop, so I feel like I can just play bishop F5 here. Control more squares. And if they strike out to hit my bishop, I can always just play bishop E4. Here I can play C5 to undermine the center probably. As the best move. E6 holds everything in. Well, now I don't want to take because if I do, they have tempo on my bishop. I think I'll just go ahead and play knight C6 here. They go ahead and pin me, but I'll just play A6 here. Taking doesn't make much sense. I think I'll just go ahead and play E6. This knight is going to be tough to develop, but I have an incentive to take now to tempo the knight, but then they just take. I think I just play knight e7, knight g6, and start targeting this. I could take my knight on a journey across the board, but I don't think that's a good use of time. I could take and actually pin the knight to the king though. Take, pin, which seems quite good. Seems very good for me. And then I can always add pressure onto the knight with my queen. So if knight takes, the problem with bringing my queen there first would be that they can tempo my queen. So knight takes, I just go for the pin instantly. They can step away. I feel like this loses a pawn though, because takes, queen takes, I take here. If I double up now, I'm not really threatening anything, so just go ahead and take queen takes, I pick up c2. They're not threatening much more, so I can just go ahead and pick up c2, I think. I could probably knight h6 and knight f5. Knight h6 if they push, I just take. They go ahead and play b3, but my bishop... They could attempt to try and trap my bishop, but I can always just go back. I'll go ahead and play knight h6. Just trying for knight f5 to get a great square for my knight. And also, knight f5, once the queen moves, I'm able to push. The queen steps away now to target c6, which threatens a fork. If I castle, I lose the pawn. Could play rook c8. Could also step my queen up, which makes sense. Could step my queen up and try maybe for a queen trade. They have no way to tempo the queen. Although they could play bishop over. So maybe I just play queen... I could potentially just play queen d7, defending everything. Queen c7 looks good though. I can start bringing the knight into the game. Knight f5, I can play d4. And then anchor in my bishop, which looks really nice for me. I mean, they're trying to open up something here, but this is locked down. I'll play knight f5, I think, and then just simply d4. Rook up targeting my bishop. It seems like a nice move. Now let's calculate. If I push, so if I push now, and if they take, I can take, and have some pressure maybe. I don't know if it's best to save the bishop and just push. Although I can't really save the bishop, it's almost trapped. Could try to save the bishop and just push. Threatening d4 here. I can go ahead and tempo the queen. The queen must move. d4 is a move that's possible for me. I could play rook d8 and then try and just push the pawn. They go ahead and actually just take. I can't take with my a pawn because that'd hang the rook. Have to take with the c pawn. I do have moves which tempo the rook. This knight's in a good position. I think I should just go ahead to castle and bring my rooks to the C and D files. Queen over. That just stops me from castling. Knight e3 looks very nice, but it's not really a fork. I could have the option of pushing, but they just take at the moment, so not now. I could go for a queen trade, which could be good for me. Just control the c file. Also, queen c5 almost forces a queen trade, because then this would be hanging. I have tactics here, like queen a7. Queen a7 is a move that targets this, and if they step back, they have to be careful not to walk into a fork. I'll go ahead and still probably just target the rook. Queen b6, if they bring their bishop, it's just an even trade. I'll go ahead and play, I mean here if they go here, or queen here if they go here, or queen here if they go here, takes, if rook takes, come in with a very nice check. So maybe I do go for that. Hits the rook. Rook f1, I have knight e3, which would fork them. They can't play rook c2. I also just realized now that I had this check the entire time, but they could just run their king up and they'd be fine. Rook f1, I also have just a check. Okay, so now I'm wondering if I just have... They play rook d4. Check if the king steps over. I could threaten coming in. That doesn't really seem that good. Knight in. Knight in hits the rook. Rook, but then where else does my knight go? If they just move their rook, there's nothing there. I'd love to castle, but I can't at the moment. I could choose to push her. The queen doesn't have many good squares. The queen's actually almost trapped. The queen actually doesn't have many squares at all, can only go back. Queen a3 is the only move here. Yeah, the queen must go back. If I play b4 now, the queen steps forward with a check. Can force the queen trade. I'm seeing right now that I have this move to tempo this rook, and then a way to attack the queen, which I think I'll definitely go for, which seems like the most interesting thing to do. Just threatening knight c2. Wow, so that's a nice move that they just found. Bishop d4. My queen is here, and my knight's here. If I take, they take. I have this move, and I pick up a rook and a bishop. But their queen can just leave, and also this falls. I can't give up the queen here. I don't think that will work at all. But I also don't want to give up the bishop, or the knight, I mean. So if I tempo their queen, they can simply just take. What's the solution here? If I tempo their queen, they take, I take. I'm just losing material there. Tempo their queen, they just take. I'm in big trouble here. Don't want to have to give up the piece. I don't see anything else that could work. I think I have to just give up the knight. No checks or anything. I think I have to give up the piece, unfortunately. Yeah, so if I tempo the queen just leaves. If I come in to attack the bishop, this could be a weakness that I could attack, but that would take me 3 moves. Although I really like the idea. They pick up another pawn. I could come in now to target the bishop. This move tempos the queen, but doesn't do much else. Rook g6, they have the option of always pushing. Rook h6, they push. It doesn't work. This would be a nice tactic to target this, but I think I actually just come in and target the bishop. If I go here, they just slide over maybe. This kind of forces a queen trade though. I don't want to trade. I think I'll just go ahead and castle. Rook up doesn't seem like a good move at all. I don't even see the idea behind it. I could attempt to tempo the queen. Queen over to c2 looks like a nice move, but I don't actually hit anything. Queen in, takes, the bishop just moves. Queen back. Could double up with my rooks on this part of the board. Could play rook a6, rook a8 and target this. You slide the queen over, targeting this. I think I can afford to give up that pawn. But then pushing and bringing the other rook seems really, really good for them. If I go here, they take, I take, they can start bringing the other rook into the game. If they take, I can take. And if they start trying to bring their rook, I have to start running my king. They go ahead and do take. I could take myself. Yeah, they're just trying to tear apart my defense around my king. If I could find a way to push this, I am seeing that I'd have mate actually, so if I take, they can take, and I don't like that. If I go back to defend, I mean, I can just take here. Can take if queen takes. I can just hold on to everything. They're just going for mate straight away. If I slide up, check here, check here, check here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just going for the tactic. That just hangs mate. This is checkmate. Wow, really? Okay, let's look at this game. They played with a 79. I played with a 68.5. I had one blunder and one mistake. They had two mistakes. The opening was very good until c5. I had to play e6 first. This was good, but it was actually best to allow them to take, which I don't understand. Well, I mean, knight h6 just defends, so there's no need to worry though. And I win a pawn, but I should have played knight e7 instead of knight h6, which allows the push. That's a mistake by the queen. I should have castled here when I had the chance to. But I thought if I castle here, what happens if I castle here and they take? I'd have rook c8. And then if they played queen takes, their best move would be... My best move would be rook takes, yeah. It would be very bad for them to take this. I'd just win a piece. And I did really think about queen e7. But the idea was that if we trade, my knight just has ideas to go to different squares. This is quite equal. It's good for me to trade when I'm up one pawn and to set very strong central pawn too. Very strong. I can almost trap the queen here. My biggest mistake this entire game was knight e3, which looks like a fantastic move. Tempoing the rook. I'm threatening to tempo the queen. I'm just adding so much pressure to them. But they have one move which just is a clean fork against me, and it's bishop d4, which is very, very powerful. It just wins a full piece. This is completely winning for white. I did see the danger around my king with all the pieces. Yeah, so here I had to actually play f6. This is mate in 5, so I'd have to spend time defending. Instead I played d4 with the hopes of them missing that I have mate hanging in one move. If they make a silly move in this position, like, I don't know, bishop back, that just hangs mate. Same for bishop forward. I don't think they saw that I was threatening mate. This would be a great move if my king was a bit safer. If they make any kind of move. Queen g5 is a move that defends everything. But they find mate on h8. I only saw a check on h7. I don't know why I didn't think about the h8 check, which was actually mate. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.